Okay, hello there everybody, my name is RX0, and welcome to another Warframe build. Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the Opticor. Well, for those who don't know, it's a Corpus laser cannon introduced in Update 15. And... right, so it's Mastery Rank 6 and it's very powerful, to cut a long story short. Now, in terms of base stats, it's got a total of 500 damage, 15% status, a reload of 2 seconds, magazine of 5, fire rate of 0.3, but I'll get into what that means in a minute. A critical multiplier of 2, which is great. A crit chance of 15, which is even better, and it's a straight line accuracy. It's a straight line pinpoint accurate beam weapon. Now, so as to what the fire rate means, it's a charge weapon, except with a little difference. Unlike all the other charge weapons in the game, e.g. the bows and the Mitar and whatever, it doesn't hold its charge. As soon as it's fully charged, it just shoots out. Sort of, it's like the Angstrom in that regard. So, on to the actual build. You can crunch for it. Now, so far I've got a 3-forma build running on it. Now, some critical points, some really crucial things are, obviously, multi-shot is very helpful, as it is with everything. Now, if you want to, basically, to make this gun fire faster, all you have to do is, well, to make the gun charge faster, you boost the fire rate with any charge weapon. That's similar. Another interesting note is heavy caliber has almost next to no effect on this gun. What it actually affects is the beam effect it shoots out, not its actual accuracy, which is interesting to say the least. Also, a very good mod to put on this gun is the newly added Vial Acceleration, which is obviously 90% fire rate for only a 15% damage penalty, which is pretty good. You only actually lose up on about 500 damage total, maybe, which is barely anything compared to the fire rate bonus it gives. So if you have the, like, you know, event mods kicking around, like, actually Malignant Force is pretty easy to get, considering it all is from T4. Unfortunately, High Voltage doesn't have a drop rate as of yet, or drop chance. So, anyway, the way it boosts up is with the 2 event mods stacking there. It boosts your status to 53%, which is, well, amazing for a gun that does this much damage. Then obviously you're stacking basically 6,300 corrosive, which is impressive as well, along with it's over 3,000 base damage. That's adding together the impact, puncture, and slash. Now obviously you can do a 4th forma, and what that does is it'll actually allow you to get that 1 extra level on your Stormbringer, which will increase your damage by another 15%. Not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, so I will get back to you when that segment is done, and then we'll go on to some gameplay with it. Alright, hello there. So, now that I've gone and painfully gotten that 4th forma onto the Opticor, we have space to put the final rank on Infected Clip. Now, in theory, that didn't do a lot of anything, but hey, it means you actually have more space to play with now. Oh, things I forgot to mention about the build beforehand were the fact that Shred obviously gives punch through, so, you know, shooting through lines of enemies is, you know, very handy with this gun. That is a very useful point. So, then the stats kind of clock up like that, so obviously this works with other things like, you know, obviously you use Corrosive for killing Grineer and Infested, generally, and then Magnetic for Corpus. That's about all you need. So, with that, and then I will get on to some gameplay with this, so... Alright, so now to get into this gameplay, I've gone to a fairly decently leveled mission here. We're just running an invasion. Now, as you can see, the performance of this gun is ridiculous. Basically, you're one-shotting everything. That's including, like, level 35 heavy guns, which means this gun can basically just about do anything. Also, apologies for any frame rate lag or anything, because there's currently a bug that means when enemies die, they seem to spawn 4 times the amount of particles that they should. And yeah, that just gets a little annoying. But anyway, as you can conclude, this weapon is also good at long range. So, in effect, this is basically... well, it's almost a sniper rifle in effect that runs off rifle ammo and is a lot more powerful. Although, unfortunately, just due to punch through's nature, it doesn't go through, like, heavy cover, which is considered solid walls. But it does go through doors and other enemies, so that's obviously very good. Now, one of the other things is this gun actually has a slight explosive AoE that has been noted. But obviously, I just find it's easiest to aim for headshots, because you only actually have to about half charge this gun to instantly kill something. I mean, obviously, if the enemies level up, you can fully charge to generally just kill anything. But obviously, the whole part of Shred making it able to mow down lines of enemies is incredibly handy. Now, thanks to Vile Acceleration also, your charge time is greatly reduced. Other positive points about the gun is it has a very quick reload, and it has a ridiculous status chance, as demonstrated there. Has a tendency to do a lot of damage. Alright, so that about wraps it up for the Opticor. I will catch you next time.